Donald Trump just totally spiraling out of control last night. He held this meeting with Central Asian nations, and Donald Trump's message to the press really had nothing to do with that. But he said, everyone needs to stop talking about affordability. He says, everything is affordable. I've made everybody's life in America great. So just stop talking about it. He's like, Thanksgiving, the costs are 25% less. Walmart did a powerful report. This is what he was saying all last night as he spirals out of control. That's your message right now. I don't want to hear about affordability. That's a direct quote from him. Here, play this clip.
Talk about the cost of Thanksgiving and the cost of living through Thanksgiving and enjoying Thanksgiving. For Joe Biden, it was 25% more than it is for me. At a later time, our energy costs are way down. Our groceries are way down. Everything is way down. And the press doesn't report it. The press reports whatever the con people say. You know, I call the Democrats con men and women. They make up numbers. But when you look at 25% reduction in costs for Thanksgiving between Biden and me, meaning this administration, that's a tremendous number. It's the biggest reduction in cost in the history of that chart or whatever it is they do. They do a synopsis of everything. They cover every element of Thanksgiving meals. 25% down. So I don't want to hear about the affordability because right now we're much less.
And by the way, he kept on talking about this Walmart report, which he keeps saying it's a very powerful report, whatever the hell that's supposed to mean. Here's the thing. The 2025 Walmart report is all about this like shrinking, disastrous economic times. So the 2025 Walmart meal contains 15 items, while the 2024 meal contained 21 items. Additionally, most of the brand items in the 2024 meal were replaced with great value, kind of generic Walmart-owned items this year around. That's the sign of a great recession and potentially a depression, Donald Trump, what's actually going on. And you should be reminded as well that before Donald Trump did that Central Asian meeting where he said, everything's affordable, stop talking about it. He held this, again, another bizarre press conference with like Dr. Oz and RFK Jr., where one individual who was with Eli Lilly literally passed out on the floor. Donald Trump didn't give a crap. A great photo by Andrew Harnick of Getty right here. As Donald Trump standing up, the guy's like passed out and like suffering on the floor. Trump can't be bothered. He just wants the cameras to be on him. And then when they resumed that press conference, Donald Trump just straight up fell to sleep. Like he was like snoring and sleeping during the press conference. I'm not being hyperbolic, like actually sleeping. And look, Trump and MAGA are running scared right now. How scared are they? Steve Bannon just gave a speech where he said, if Republicans lose the midterms, he goes, I'm going to jail and many of you are going to jail. Here, play this clip.
And I will tell you right now, as God is my witness, if we lose the midterms and we lose 2028, some in this room are going to prison, myself included.
Oh, we made this on MeidasTouch Network last night as well. So Trump, 2 days ago, he said they have this new word called affordability, and Republicans don't talk about it enough. We should be the party that talks about affordability. Then yesterday, Donald Trump goes, I don't want to hear about affordability anymore. Here, play this clip.
You know, they have this new word called affordability, and they don't talk about it enough. The Democrats did.
It's the biggest reduction in cost in the history of that chart or whatever it is they do. They do a synopsis of everything. They cover every element of Thanksgiving meals. 25% down. So I don't want to hear about the affordability.
Well, then you had J.D. Vance at this. Again, this was a press conference with Central Asian nations. So you may be saying, well, Ben, why are they talking about all these topics? Because these things are so unhinged and deranged. So J.D. Vance was asked about, wait, so why is the Trump DOJ appealing the order from Judge McConnell in Rhode Island that's ordering the Trump DOJ to pay SNAP beneficiaries the money they're entitled to under SNAP, pay them their food stamp money? Give them the benefits that they're entitled to. And the Trump regime's appealing that. They're saying, we are appealing. We don't want to give people the funds that exist. So J.D. Vance was asked about Judge McConnell's order, where McConnell found that the Trump regime was in violation of his prior order to pay full SNAP benefits. And the Trump regime's refusing to do that. Here's what J.D. Vance says. You can listen to him for yourself. Here, play this clip.
A federal judge said tonight that the administration has to fully fund SNAP. It's the latest in the back and forth, and the Justice Department said they're going to appeal it. What's your message to folks as they work this out in the courts and in Congress as we're heading into Thanksgiving?
You want to go with it?
Yeah, look, Jackie, it's an absurd ruling because you have a federal judge effectively telling us what we have to do in the midst of a Democrat government shutdown, which what we'd like to do is for the Democrats to open up the government. Of course, then we can fund SNAP, and we can also do a lot of other good things for the American people. But in the midst of a shutdown, we can't have a federal court telling the president how he has to triage the situation.
Did you hear what he said? He says, it's an absurd ruling. He goes, it's a horrible ruling. That's why I always say play the clip. I want to show you the receipts so there's no room for doubt, right? The judge made an order. Give the SNAP beneficiaries their money. You gave Argentina $40 billion of U.S. taxpayer dollars. How about in the United States? Don't allow 42 million Americans to starve. And you just heard J.D. Vance yourself, right? I'm not being hyperbolic. He said it's an absurd ruling. No, what's absurd, offensive, malicious, disgusting? And I'll just say it. I believe it's freaking criminal, J.D. Vance. And I believe you're a bunch of war criminals, J.D. Vance, unreal, as you kill people off the coast of Venezuela and Colombia. But I think your behavior is frankly criminal, in my opinion. Starving Americans to death. Anyway, more on this ridiculous press conference with the Central Asian nations. Donald Trump's like, I got back from South Korea. I brought in $2 trillion more. $2 trillion more from South Korea? Do you know what the entire GDP of South Korea is? You're just making up fake numbers, and Americans are seeing none of this because it's all a freaking massive Ponzi scheme. Here, play this clip.
What we've done is pretty amazing. We were with the president of South Korea. We went to Malaysia and lots of other places and had a lot of meetings while in South Korea. And I think it was a tremendous period of time. We took in at least $2 trillion pouring into our country. There's never been anything like it. We have almost $18 trillion of investment. And by the time we finish out our first year, we probably will have about 20 or 21 trillion with a T, $1 trillion of investment. And there's never been anything like that in the history of the world.
Then Donald Trump talks about, I guess this is the one time he's like actually talking about the Central Asian nations. And he's like, and you've agreed to name your road the Trump Road. It must be big and beautiful. Here, play this clip.
As I said at the time, that historic accord includes the construction of the new Trump route. It's such a beautiful thing. They named it after me. I really appreciate it. It's actually a big deal. But it's the new Trump route for international peace. This is a road that's being carved and goes through some of the most important places anywhere in the world, some of the most important places economically also anywhere in the world.
While that was taking place, Fox was hosting something called the Fox Patriot Awards. Pete Hegseth was joking about how Donald Trump would make social media posts after they engaged in war crimes. Play this clip.
Turned to his assistant and said, go get me my phone. Boop, 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 boop. Ready? Boop. The world, listen, F-A-F-O. All right?
You had Erica Kirk, whatever the hell this was going on right here. I don't know. You judge for yourself what's going on here. Play this clip.
I will make sure that I don't stay silent. I'll keep speaking the truth, no matter the cost. No matter the cost.
While that was taking place, these were the chyrons running on Fox. By winning, Democrats are actually losing, says Laura Ingraham and Vivek Ramaswamy. Or propagandist Jesse Waters says, Sydney Sweeney breaks silence on good genes ad. That's what you're talking about as 42 million Americans are starving to death, as Americans are waiting on bread lines that stretch for almost a mile long. Sydney Sweeney breaks her silence on good genes ads as you're ripping healthcare away from 20 million Americans, folks. Let me just be very clear and let me not mince words. These MAGA Republicans hate America. They hate Americans and they want to see you suffer. And I'm showing you the evidence why. They hate this country, and it's time for true patriots to retake our country and show our love of this country by helping people, by lending a hand, not behaving like just malicious buffoons. Speaking of malicious buffoons, back to J.D. Vance right here. He goes, unfortunately, the American people, they're going to need to suffer more. Play this clip.
The American people are unfortunately about to start suffering some very real consequences because of the shutdown. In the past, when you had a government shutdown, you would have, under the Obama administration, they would lean into all of the problems it was going to cause for the American people at the beginning of the shutdown. The president has told us to keep as much going as humanly possible. But after 30 days of this thing, 40 days of this thing, you're going to start seeing very real travel delays. That's because the Democrat government shut down. You're going to start seeing SNAP benefits run out. That's because the Democrat government shut down. They should stop this charade and open up the government. That's what we want them to do. We've been asking them to do it for 40 days. It's time.
And now Marjorie Taylor Greene's like the voice of reason. Here's Marjorie Taylor Greene saying that we don't have a healthcare plan because MAGA Mike refuses to give us one. Play this clip.
Build consensus among your members, and that hasn't happened yet.
He told us when we had him on the show a few weeks ago that if the government reopened tomorrow, and this was 2 weeks ago probably, the Republicans would have a healthcare plan. Do you believe that?
No, because I haven't seen it yet.
And here's what Marjorie Taylor Greene says about Adelita Grijalva. She should get sworn in. Play this clip.
I wonder how you feel about someone like Adelita Grijalva, who, I mean, you say you can't work for your district because the House is out of session. She won her election 6 weeks ago and still has not been sworn in.
She should be sworn in.
Point blank.
Yep.
Now, shout out to California Governor Gavin Newsom, who's also announced that he will be attending a major climate conference in Brazil that Trump withdrew from. Once again, we see California Governor Newsom showing his formal authority and moral authority, and amen to that. Great work by Governor Newsom right there. We'll continue to keep you posted every step of the way here on the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million, and thank you so much.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.